Hi everyone, my name's Christine, I'm an addict. Hey, so this is the second time I'm here in this room, specifically speaking on the third tradition. I was here at Knoxville Convention not too long ago, doing the same thing, and I joked earlier, they either really liked it or I'm getting a second chance, right? So the third tradition that states, God, of course I practiced a million times. The only requirement for membership is the desire to stop using, right? And it means so much to me. And I told this story last time, and I'm going to tell it again. The meeting that stands out to me the most about this tradition is one that I was in, where a young man, and I mean young, was there. Higher than you could imagine, nodding out the whole time. And people were snapping at him, trying to make sure that he stayed awake. At one point, someone had shared that they wished that they could Narcan people that came into the rooms high, and even did like the plunging motion when he said that, so that way they could hear a message. And then other people started sharing on top of that, about people that came into the rooms high. And I'm not sharing that to judge those people in that meeting, right? I'm sharing that so that way we can learn from that meeting, right? And figure out how we can never do that again, right? Or not let that happen again. And after that, I had shared by the end of the meeting that I was that addict that came in high. I was the one that came in high that was so ashamed to walk in the meetings high because I wanted this. I wanted to be clean, but I couldn't put anything down. And there was one meeting that I came to with all my stuff, ready to ask someone to help me throw it away, and the meeting was closed. And I was like, that's a sign from God, I get to keep using. But on the ride home, I was in tears. I was in tears because I was like, why can't I just put it down if I want this? If I really want this and I want to be clean, why can't I just stop and throw it away on my own? And I shared about that in a meeting, months down the road when I came out and said, hey, so my clean date really isn't my clean date. It's when the drugs ran out. And a guy came up to me after and said, if we could just put down the drugs on our own, we wouldn't need these rooms. We wouldn't need this. I wouldn't. If I could, I fucking wouldn't, So that's what the third tradition means to me, And after speaking about it last time, being asked to speak about it this time, I picked up the Guiding Principles book. And the whole time I'm reading it, I'm, in tears because, again, it obviously means so much to me. So I wrote down a bunch of notes for everyone because I did so much homework. But I genuinely, I highly suggest that book because, of course, I was like, oh, I got that. I got all the literature. I didn't. That was the one book that I didn't have, And I'm really grateful that I did pick it up because everything I read in there just hit so hard. And the first thing I'll start off with is, as long as we have a desire to stop using drugs, our right to membership is unconditional, right? Unconditional. There aren't any conditions. All I need is a desire to stop using. That's it. And anyone that wants to join, our membership is just the desire. So anyone can come in here high, right? I don't have to be comfortable with it. And the next thing on here, the third tradition confronts us with our prejudices, control issues, insecurities, and fears. It also reveals generosity, compassion, and empathy, right? So what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? What do I want to control? What are my insecurities? Is it that I'm so insecure looking at someone that comes in the room high that, I'm one bad decision away from that, or is it that I'm afraid that someone's going to what is it that I'm afraid of that someone's coming in the room high? And that's not the only thing, right, that I want to focus on, but with that meeting, The opposite of addiction is connection, right? I wouldn't have felt connected if I came in and someone was like, what? Like, let me share at you, about coming in clean next time, just putting down the drugs. Like, I was welcomed with open arms and with love and with that unconditional acceptance, So, like, if that was me and I was being snapped at to fucking wake up, like, good night, like, I would have been out. Because the other huge thing that hit me in that reading is every NA member has a right to recover in dignity and to be treated as an equal, right? Where was that person's dignity when they were being snapped at like a dog, And I get it. Those people were afraid. There was insecurities. There was all of those things. But I have to be mindful that everyone has the right to recover with dignity. Right? What does that dignity look like? I just have to give you your process, right? I have to just share my message. And I just have to hope and pray that you get it. And that's it. Like, whatever my opinions are about what your recovery looks like, it doesn't fucking matter. Because I don't get to judge your recovery. I hope you don't judge mine, but that's none of my fucking business. It isn't. But all I want for the addict that walks in the door, all I want for the addict that's in the room is just one more day to be clean, And I can't control who stays clean, but I can control, to a degree, who hears my message and who feels welcome, right? That's what I can control. That's another quote in here that I got wrong, I'm sure, but that's what I can do. I can share my message, and I can make people feel welcome. And I do that by just letting people have their process, by keeping the doors open, because my job isn't to gatekeep, right? It's not to, like, stand by the doors and make sure, like, yeah, you look like you're an acceptable drug addict. Come in the rooms, like, what? What do you mean? Because and that's another quote that I didn't even put in here, like, oh, you're beaten down enough. You're not beaten down enough. You didn't lose enough, right? You're on the right drugs. You're not on the right drugs. What? And we've all heard it. I guarantee you. And I've thought the same thing, right? Like, oh, I didn't lose as much as you, so, my recovery is looking different. We're excluding ourselves, and we exclude other people when we do that. And the third tradition gives us an opportunity to be open-minded about ourselves, about others, and about the possibility to change. Right? All I can do, again, is just hope and pray that the people that come in this room, that the people that hear a message will hear it and will keep coming back. And that's the main thing. Because when I came in, the thing that attracted me was that y'all looked like you were having fun, looked like you were having a good time. I didn't know if you were still high or if you, if you were genuinely clean, but I wanted to give it a try. And here's the other thing about desire, right? Is that how the fuck do you measure desire? How? I mean, it's not something that's tangible. It's like love or faith or compassion. Like, how do you measure that? I mean, I guarantee you right now, there is an addict on the street who has a desire to stop using that's greater than mine, right? That wants this more than I do, but who can't put it down. And that's the only difference between me and that person, is that I put down the drugs, I kept coming back, and I did the fucking work. And that's the only difference. And the only difference that keeps us apart is that I'm one bad decision away, right? And so the whole idea about, like, people are going to come into these rooms and they're not going to want what we have, right? They're going to come and sit down and hear a message, and maybe it's going to plant a seed. Maybe they're going to hear it and be like, okay, cool, I'm going to fucking do what I want. It's not my job to judge or to, think differently. It doesn't matter, you know. And then there are going to be people that come in that either won't do the work or just fucking can't, like, that it just doesn't fucking click. But regardless, my job isn't to judge them or, you know, like, just be different towards them. It's just to keep coming back, you know, share that hope, because I've seen so many people that have come in, right, and you know, the thought of like, oh, well, your desire might not be there because X, Y, and Z. I didn't desire to stop using drugs when I first came in here, you know, like, I wanted to keep using drugs. When I first came in and I stopped using, it was a big, giant, gaping open wound that I felt, right? For 6 fucking months, all I did was cry. And when people walked in the rooms with a fucking weak clean that was like, hey guys, isn't it great? We don't have to use drugs anymore. I'm like, I will punch you in the throat if you come to me with that fucking energy. Get out of my face. Because the fact is that I didn't desire to stop using drugs. If I could continue to use drugs and have a good fucking life, I probably would have. And that's the God's honest truth. But the fact is that I couldn't use drugs and have a manageable fucking life. And I saw that, and that there was a very clear split in the road for me about, like, I get to make a decision about this life that I want, and I can't have that and drugs at the same time. And I got to do something. And if y'all are telling me that all I have to do is just keep coming back, then that's what I'm going to fucking do. And don't pick up, right? Just for today. If it's just for today, then I'll fucking do it. And eventually, the desire came, you know, but that wasn't where it started. You know what I mean? So it didn't start there. People that walk in these rooms, they don't know. How would they know that, like, that membership is, like, just the desire? How would they know that they even fucking want to stop using right away? You know? Like, how many times have we heard someone say, I came in to get a paper fucking signed. That's the only reason I came in, and now I've got X, Y, and Z, how many years clean? Right? Like, that's the hope, is that someone comes, someone hears a message, and someone stays and stays clean because they hear that experience, strength, and hope, and they kept coming back. So yeah, I can't determine who will stay clean, but I can share my message. And I think that that's the main thing to take away from this. And in that meeting, I did pop off at the end about, you know, how I was that person and how much it pissed me off to hear everyone share at this person. And luckily I don't think I've been in a meeting like that since. But I know that if I was in a meeting that was like that, I would be able to stand up and at least say that. And because in that way, I'm still reaching out to that addict and saying, you aren't alone, you know, you are welcome here. You do have a spot here no matter what, right? And all you have to do is keep coming back. And then to just go and make that person welcome. Because the only requirement for them to be in this fucking room is a desire. No matter what my opinion is about anything else, it's just the desire. And if they're here, then that's what matters. Is just for an hour or fucking 15 minutes, if that's how long they stay. You know, like, doesn't matter. Like, for that time, they got to hear a message. And hopefully it was fucking clear. Hopefully it was that any addict, I'm going to fuck this up so bad. I always do. That's why I write shit down, guys. Can lose the desire and find a new way to live. And anyone can, including them. You know, so I think that that's the main one. The main thing that I really just want to drive home for everyone. Yeah. The third tradition offers relief from reservations we might have about membership and about each other, right? So it's not just membership, it's not just the desire or like what it takes to be a member, but it's also about, me judging someone else's recovery at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I get to let all of that go because whatever I fucking think about your recovery, whatever it is, it's like, at least you're fucking here. And at least you're here, at least you're doing the work, and the hope is that, like, I don't even know, like, you're getting another fucking day, that's really all that matters, right? Like, what my recovery looks like and what your recovery looks like is going to be different, and who am I to fucking judge, So, yeah. I kind of think that that's it. I could keep going, but, I don't want to. So, thanks so much. Thanks so much for letting me share and for asking me to come back. And the next person speaking, I'm so happy to announce, is Justin.
Justin Attic. Great news. It's about time for me and ran out of the fucking room. First of all, I'd like to say I'm grateful for this committee asking me to be here and share today. We got in here a little bit before this started, and we was talking about who was going to go first. And when she told me she'd done a lot of homework, I'm like, good, you fucking go first. It's that stuff's still confusing for me. I've been around these rooms for some years now, and when I first started coming in and started sharing anywhere, they're like, don't think about what you say, just share. Oh, all right, And then I'd start asking people, do I have a topic? And they're like, no, we just want you to share. I'm like, pissed because I don't get topics, right? Then they started giving me topics, and they started telling me to do my homework. I'm like, what the fuck you mean homework? Like, they tell you got to study up on it. And what I've learned, I'm grateful for the ones that can come in here and do the homework and share it, break it down. I'm not that fucking guy, man, because, I got a lot of personality, and I got a very big personality, and I'm a very opinionated motherfucker, too. And I have not learned yet, as much as I've done this, how I can study up on this shit and keep my personality out of it. So I was grateful she'd done the homework and share with y'all about this. So, what I'm going to do is just what I always do is I just get up here, man, and I take a breath, and I just try to get the fuck out of the way and let something greater work through me. I'm going to say words. Whatever's going to come out is going to come out, and then I'm going to be done, and we're going to carry on and act fucking accordingly the rest of the day. So my sponsor, he shares everywhere, man, and he's always, gotta go to basic text. And I'm like, all right, man, because I always bring my basic text up here with me when I share that. I forget to read anything out of it most of the time. So to be a good NA little boy right now, I'm going to read something out of the basic text. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. This tradition is important for both the individual and the group. Desire is the key word. Desire is the basis of our recovery. So, I woke up today not feeling it, not wanting to be here, not wanting to share today, right? I've been having a lot of days like that lately. And I love how a power greater than me works in my life, man. Because I was waking up, people was in the room, they were leaving. I got a sponsee calling. Then I call him back, and there's a bunch of us down here eating breakfast. And I'm like, well, I'm holding off on breakfast then. I'm honest. I just didn't feel like being around people, right? I'm just not feeling it. And then I waited a while, took a shower, and I come downstairs, and I started, man, I'm just going to go eat breakfast by myself. Then I seen a bunch of them sitting at a fucking table together, and I'll end up over there with them, so I'm just going to go over here and sit down. So a few minutes later, this guy sits down next to me. You could tell when you've been around here who the ones are with a lot of time when they're really big, all the white hair and white beard and wearing overalls and shit. And we started talking. And next thing I know, we're eating breakfast together, right? And I sat and I was listening to this man. Now, I don't see him in the room, so he don't even know I'm doing a workshop here today. He don't know me having a topic or nothing, right? And I sat and listened to this man talk for a long time, barely saying a word. I kept thinking before this, I need to go up to my room, do my homework, all that, get in the mood for this shit. And I'm like, no, that ain't me. And I've learned that in this way of life, our real value is in being ourselves, right? So I ain't going to go study. And then I'm sitting talking to this dude, and he's getting ready to get up. And out of nowhere, he starts talking about the third tradition. I said, fuck. And I just listened. And he's talking about, this dude's got many decades clean. And he's starting to talk about the desire when he came in, the desire we all had when we're coming in here. And then he said this. And when we come here, we're just looking for a connection. He don't know it. I was smiling on the inside. Yeah. My spirit was starting to come alive, Craig. And I started thinking, man, I need it, because I'm big on meditation. I said, it's time to go back to my room and take a minute, start getting the fuck out of the way and meditate for a minute. And then I'm reading in my book, and I wrote this a long time ago. So I got right here, it says, desire, a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. And then this young lady talking about what she was just talking about with that addict in the room. I was like, motherfucker. I remember what it was like when I kept trying to come in these rooms to stop and couldn't fucking do it. I remember what it was like coming in here more than anything, not wanting to fucking use no more. And I would stay in here and try to do the things you all suggested to me. No matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't fucking stop. Kept going back out. Now, I'm shy of 8 years clean right now, but I started coming to the rooms in the year 2020. I was 20 years old, young and dumb and full of rage, man. And all I knew was at one point in my life, I was on my way to college to play sports, and the next thing I know, I can't keep a fucking needle out of my arm. Threw it all away. I found myself in an outside place where they brought an H&I meeting in, and they started talking about Narcotics Anonymous, and I said, shit sounds crazy. Talking about 12 motherfucking steps going to keep me clean. For years, I kept coming back. Young and dumb, man, full of all the answers to life, rebelling. Just couldn't pull it together. It says desire is key word. Desire is the key word in the basis of our recovery. See, and that was my problem for a long time. Basis. I wrote this shit down at some point too. The bottom of something is considered the foundation. See, I didn't have a desire back then. I wasn't ready for this way of life. But whether I knew it or not at the time, a seed was being planted, because as the years went by and the disease continued to beat my ass down, something started to change, because then it was always those foxhole prayers. I just wish it could stop. It's like, it says the only requirement for membership. See, anything I know about membership in the life I lived and the people I was around, there was dues to pay to be a member of a club, right? Yeah. So if you're new here, the dues to pay to be here is the pain and the misery we suffered through active addiction. Pays for our seat in Narcotics Anonymous. And I paid those dues for many years. It took me a while to find that desire. And she talking about that dude sitting in the room like that. I remember many times sitting in a room. You went out and used yet again and coming back. Even though I wasn't clean that night, I had just as much of a desire to be clean as any other motherfucker in that room that night. It's just the disease had such a fucking grip on me, I just couldn't stay stopped. I've come in and out with many years clean and just keep going back for whatever reasons. In 2012, I went back out with a few years clean. And it took me to the year 2017 to get clean again and stay clean. Now, I had a lot of clean days throughout that time, but I just couldn't pull off continuing to stay clean. It was the worst 5 years of my fucking life. And not only did I have a desire when I came back in, but there was a new desperation. See, I don't believe in that shit that a lot of people say. Well, I've been hearing, those ain't the basic text. A lot of people in these fucking rooms say that shit. If you don't remember your last high, then maybe you ain't had it. I don't get down with that bullshit, because you know what? My clean day right now is March 22nd, 2017. That ain't the actual clean day to mine. Mine was a couple weeks before that, but I was in such a state of fucking mind, I couldn't remember the last time I put one in me. I just picked something out. But I ain't forgot that fucking, Hey, we don't credit fucking clean time, Grant, so I made sure I was well past the last day I fucking used. Hey, the beautiful thing about this is just for today's program. Today's the only fucking day that matters that I'm clean. I was so goddamn happy just not to fucking put one in me that day. It didn't fucking matter what day it was. Fuck, I didn't know what month it was. My fiance had to tell me. We was in motherfucking April trying to figure out my clean date. I didn't even know what month it was. But that's the thing I've always learned is to keep coming back. The reason this shit is important to me, because I don't know what it's like in the areas you guys come from, but we got a lot of motherfuckers with big personalities in my area. But many times I came in these rooms desperate, but unable to stop and coming in here high. Hell, when I relapsed in 2012, man, I'd used coming up on my 4-year celebration. I had a speaking commitment that I had made a few months before, and I wasn't ready to tell anybody I'd used. Fuck, I went and shared the message, hiring a motherfucker, you know? I was hiring bird pussy trying to carry the message of Narcotics Anonymous. Hey, it was a new group in a small town because I'm done. They're all, woo! Like, fuck, I even got it high, you know? Like, fuck. But, see, what I'm telling you is I don't forget where I come from, man. And many times I come back to these rooms, man, and I'm always that addict that comes back about 140 pounds. Skin and bone with my jaws suck in, looking like I've been fucking wrestling a porcupine, right? Like tracked up, stinking, just dirty, man, and broken. But every time I come back like that, people still hug me. They say, Craig, I'm grateful you made it back. I had people, like the guy speaking last night, tell me, we're tired of watching you fucking kill yourself. We ain't fucking playing with you no more. It's time to start getting this shit right. No matter what I did, they continued to love me every time I came back. And now I'm finding myself with a few years clean and started to find myself coming a real judgmental motherfucker, right? Now, if you coming off certain drugs and shit, I wasn't judging. Me too, man. Me too. I've been there, right? Something just started hitting my spirit different, man, because like some of the people I'm close to, if you get down with that sponsorship, I ain't taking no shots at sponsorship, family tree. You believe it, you believe in it. I mean, I don't care about all that shit. This is a we program. But the other guys that my sponsor also sponsors starting to get real vocal about maintenance drugs, right? Now, I don't promote shit. I'm not full-heartedly about complete abstinence. But we started getting a lot of treatment facilities in our area and a lot of people getting put on maintenance and coming to the meetings, right? And I found myself, because I used to be a very, very vocal motherfucker about it. Like I told you, I'm very opinionated and I didn't hold back. And what I started learning when I started seeing the way some of the people close to me was talking to other fucking people, I'm like, God damn, that's what I look like?
Come on, man. That's right.
Started seeing myself and other people and I didn't like what the fuck I seen. I've been taught in this way of life, it's our responsibility to try to carry the message to the addict who still suffers. The addict who still suffers is the addict who's still using, right? Even when I was still using, people was trying to carry a message to me, and now I find people coming into the fucking rooms just because they're using something that I never was a part of. Hell, I tried, but the motherfuckers told me my liver's in such bad shape they couldn't write it to me. So I caught a resentment to them. I fuck. It's real. But I see these people coming in and I start comparing. I'm like, fuck. They ain't no different than that fucking addict I've been at 140 pounds coming in here desperate wanting to try to stop somehow. Right. And people continue to love me. And what I started seeing was they still the fucking suffering addict. They just don't look the way I did when I came in. They got some color and some weight on them. Then I started talking to more of them, more out of what can I do to help? Because that's what people asked me when I got here, Grant. Didn't matter where I come from. It didn't matter if I was gay, straight, rich, poor. They didn't fucking ask none of that shit. They just said, what can I do to help? So that's what I started trying to practice. And what I found was it was people scared to death to go back into the fucking streets and living that fucking life, but they scared at that point to go without anything, and they don't know what the fuck to do, and all they know is they got people fucking saying go over here and find help. They send them Narcotics Anonymous, find help, and I'm finding myself and many others I'm closest to judging the fuck out of them. Now, I don't believe in being in here using and picking up fucking tags, working steps, or sharing in meetings, or chairing meetings, or nothing. But I started taking a different approach. And I'll tell you, I knew when something was starting to fucking change in me. A dear friend of mine, they got a recovery house up in Manchester, Kentucky. One night, I'm at work, and this addict calls me. I didn't know him. It don't matter. He started telling me about himself. He says, man, I was giving your number. I said, all right, what can I do, man? He says, so I just got to this place. And I've been going to meetings and I'm wanting help. And he told me what he was on at the time, right? And he says, but I ain't wanting to do it no more, but they told me that I was going to probably get judged a lot. So basically telling him there's going to be a lot of people probably not want to help him too much, right? And then that addict said, but I got told you'd help me. I said, I got you, man. And I explained a few things to him, and I told him, I said, this is what we're going to do. Because he was wanting me to sponsor him, and I said, we can't work steps yet, because right now the primary purpose is to help you get fully clean, man. And I explained that stuff to him. Instead of picking him apart, I explained it to him, right? And I told him, I said, what we're going to do is we're going to go to meetings. I'm going to give you some numbers to some other people. I said, you can go ahead and be getting in that basic test because I said it saves our lives. I said, you need to start getting familiar with this way of life. You need to start building a foundation with people. And you know, I've had so many addicts over time that's reached out to me in that same way. Now, has it worked out to where every one of them's clean? I wish I could tell you they were. But you want to know what I've also seen? I've seen a lot of fucking addicts come in here on that shit, and they clean today, doing the things that we do, and now they helping others do the fucking same. And it's all about that desire. And it's like the fella I was telling you about earlier when he was talking about the connection. Because see, that's the thing. Here for the last little while, I just always explain it like being blah. Maybe some of y'all can relate to it. Because I don't believe in good days and I don't believe in bad days. I just believe we're simply having fucking days now. It's just that simple because, I've always got good things happening every day, and there's always some shit happening that I don't really like or want to do. You know, I've not had no major changes in my life, but I've been trying just to find a desire. What I'm realizing now, thanks to this topic, I got it fucking made. I got a lot of responsibilities with employment and stuff I got, but when it gets down to it, I got it fucking made. But I'm having trouble just finding a desire to keep doing the shit I do. Hell, I've been going up and down. I've been in what was this? Don't get in a relationship for a year bullshit, people. I've been hearing people talk about.
I heard that, I think.
You heard that? Check it out. Check it out. I got 7 years and 8 months clean, right? The relationship that I'm in, most healthy, best relationship I've ever had in my fucking life. We've been together for 7 years and 8 months. I know that because when I was first getting back clean, I ended up at her fucking place because we was going to a meeting one night. And, of course, I didn't have no fucking home. I was going back to my brother-in-law and sister's house, and it was late. And I'm like, I'm going to wake the babies up. She's like, well, you can sleep on my couch. And I really ain't fucking left since then. We was in a fucking government apartment of hers, and now we're fucking house owners together, you know. She had this little fucking kid who's wilder than hell, and he calls me dad today, you know. You know, I raised that kid like he's mine. Hell, he called his biological dad the other day his stepdad. Because due to this disease, he ain't really been in his life. But I got this wonderful, healthy relationship, and hell, and I literally, when we got together, I probably couldn't have passed the drug test yet. So I don't listen to that bullshit. Don't get in a relationship. this program has taught me to practice these principles in all my affairs, you know. And when I do that shit, it seems to work out. But yeah, I even have sponsees all the time. Do I need to stay in a relationship? I'm like, it's your dick. Do whatever you want with it. Just don't fucking use, man. Just don't fucking use and learn from it, you know. Like, that fucking simple. But here lately, I've been having a fucking trouble, man. Like, I've been going up and down because, like, the old lady's been going through a whole lot of different shit. She's having a lot of medical issues. Maybe some of y'all can relate with this. We talk about how we're all crazy in here. Well, there's crazy, then there's crazy. And she kept telling me when we first got together, she's like, I'm crazy. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, we're addicts, we're all crazy. And then, boy, one night, I was like, oh, you crazy. Like, I was still really fucking sick to this, so I was like, this is going to be fun, you know? Got another one, you know? Look, and I love her. I love her and this kid with all my heart. And when I say this stuff, I have no intentions in this world of leaving her. I'm just telling you, sometimes I get fucked up in the head. And, like, everything's been feeling off because I'm questioning, like, do I even want to do this shit for work anymore? Do I even want to be in this relationship no more? And then I start thinking, like, making shit about me. I heard, I think it was Bucci said last night that he learned that relationships ain't all about sex, right? So it took me a lot of years to learn that shit. But then I also find when I'm getting disconnected how selfish and self-centered I get because she's going through all these problems. And, like, yeah, it's even uncomfortable still to even talk about shit like this in front of people. But, man, it's just like I think we've had sex one time in 7-8 months. That's not something I've ever experienced in a relationship, right? So then I'm starting to question, is it me, right? Making everything about me, right? So then, and like I said, she's crazy, so her attitude can be something. So I've been battling with this shit lately, man. And this is what, like, I didn't want to come here this weekend, right? I got a lot of fucking responsibilities. I got a lot of shit to keep up with, right? And the shit's running me in the ground. And all I could think, like, I was great, like, you come speak. I'm like, okay, I'll go down on Saturday. I'll stay till after the main speaker. I'm coming back home. I got shit to do. And then Bucci's like, oh, I'm the opening speaker. I'm like, fuck, I guess I'm going Friday, too. Then fucking couple weeks ago, and because I was still going to leave Saturday night. Then Craig's like, I'm the closing speaker. I'm fuck! Staying the whole weekend, you know, but it's exactly what I needed, man. And, like, no matter what else happens this whole fucking weekend, man, just that conversation with that one man for just about 30 minutes out of my day, it hit me. Everything I've been struggling to find a desire to still be a part of, like the job, the relationship, every fucking thing, man. It's because I've been disconnected from something greater than me. All that hit me in a moment. And I'll go back up to that room and I'm sitting up there alone. I throw the phone away to the side, man, and I'm just sitting in all this, right? And I'm like, that's what's been wrong this whole time. For weeks and weeks now. I've been disconnected because I've been so fucking wrapped up in my life. Forgetting what's important. Then I get a topic about the desire. And this young lady talking about that addict that came in here. And then I'm thinking about the things I'm thinking about. And it's like, when the fuck did I start forgetting where the hell I come from? Because there's something I've seen, and I ain't like taking shots at nobody. I really try not to sniper share no more. I used to be real bad for that shit. Part of the reason I don't study on topics is then I start picking out people I can take shots at. That's not what this is for. And but I started thinking about all this, man, because there's something, you know, everybody's got something to offer us. And some people show me who I don't want to fucking be. And I've seen a whole lot of people with time in these fucking rooms, a lot of time that shows me exactly who the fuck I don't want to be. And it ain't about, oh, when I get this many years, I don't want to be like that. Fuck that. I don't want to be like that today. Today's the only fucking day that matters. And I see so many people get fucking time up in these goddamn rooms, man. And it appears to me that they forget what it was like when we was coming in. Forgetting about that desperation of just holding the fuck on from moment to moment, trying not to fucking use. If you're anything like me, when I was coming back, it wasn't even about an overwhelming fucking feeling of wanting to use. I was fucking done. I already knew the fucking drugs didn't work no more. I just had yet again 10 months fucking clean or something like that. Went and used for 2 weeks, losing all fucking hope, going back to my hometown to fucking kill myself. Done had it all planned out, man, and just for whatever reason, I got stopped in my fucking tracks that day and sat on a porch for 8 fucking hours, staring off into the fucking sky. I spent the first few months with this clean date back in here just trying to find a desire to fucking live. Every day, it wasn't about, oh, I just need to hold on to a meat and not use and then go to bed clean. I wasn't even thinking about that shit. All I was thinking about is I just need to hold on from moment to moment until it's time for that fucking meeting tonight. Then I'm going to fucking come home, and if I want to kill myself, I can do it tomorrow. That's where I was at for the first few months that I was back clean in these rooms this time, was just simply trying to find a fucking desire to live. And then I find myself, after a few years clean, starting to judge other motherfuckers because of the way they're coming in. Somebody couldn't even fucking hardly find a reason to live anymore. I don't know, man. Like, I'm so fucking grateful for what DNA's done. And I'm so grateful even when I start to struggle with what I fucking believe in, man. Because it's something I've always talked about. I don't put labels on what I believe in. God's just a title, that word, and I'm a firm believer that no matter what God you believe in, they send all their sick addicts and Narcotics Anonymous to get better. I truly fucking believe that. So it takes a whole lot of different types of people to make up Narcotics Anonymous. Diversity is our strength, so it's a great thing. We got so many fucking gods around here too, and I just try not to judge people for whatever they believe in, because no matter what, I know the God of my understanding works through other addicts, and it's definitely been working in my life this weekend when I really needed it. Just from hearing a few people share and say some key things that's hit my spirit today, and being able to sit around with the predecessor and just listen to them talk. To see that's something else I couldn't do when I got here. I wanted to do all the fucking talking, right? I didn't shut the fuck up. And it was funny because when we were walking off, he was like, "Man, I'll talk your head off. I'm sorry about that." I'm like, "Dude, trust me, it's good. I'm all right listening today." And that man don't even know what he did for me. So, like, I'm grateful to be here because it's kind of helping bring that fire back in me. It's helping clear some things up for me today. Like, I don't know if I'm going to help anybody while I've been up here fucking sharing, but I know this convention's already gave me what I needed this weekend, man, and I'm truly grateful for that. And, you know, when I'm done, I'm done. I don't try to start sharing from the head and all that bullshit. If nobody's told you today that they love you, change your fucking people, man, because you're doing this wrong. That's all I got.